let's knock out Coalition-3 for Operation Chimera. This is another what I would call a pretty easy one. There's nothing complex about it. It's just straight up, we need to have a good game. So to get this done from a primary perspective, we need to be top XP on our team. And if we want to get the secondary done to complete with honors, we need to win the match. Okay. Just right off the bat, know that it's top XP on your team and not top XP in the match. So honestly, it doesn't matter if you win or lose this. The only reason that you want to win is to complete the secondary. In fact, I've said this in some of my other videos. Sometimes it's actually easier to get top XP on your team if your team loses. Because if you have a good game or even an average game, but your team gets steamrolled, the chances of you being top tier on a losing, or a top XP on a losing team is pretty good. Now, I'm in the FCM 50T. There's no particular reason that I've picked this tank. They recently buffed it, so I'm just playing through some rounds with it to see how the buffs are. But there is a reason that I chose tier 8. And the reason is that if you are focusing on a mission that requires you to get XP, it's easier to get XP when you are a low tier tank. So for example, if a tier 10 tank does, let's say, 300 damage to a tier 8 tank versus a tier 8 tank doing 300 damage to a tier 10 tank, that tier 8 tank is actually going to get more XP for that 300 damage. And so it's advantageous to be low tier. And given the current situation with matchmaking, tier 8, the chances of a tier 8 being a top tier tank is pretty low. It's something like 20% or something like that. So as a tier 8 tank, you're probably going to see 9s and 10s more likely. So you don't want to run this at say tier 10, because then there's a good chance that you're going to be the top tier tank in a 3-5-7 match. Whereas if you run at a tier 8, there's a good chance you're going to be bottom tier in a 3-5-7 match with 3 tier 10s. Now, because the FCM is a preferred matchmaking tank, it caps out at tier 9, but still the same scenario applies. I'm in a 5-10 format where I have 5 tier 9s and 10 tier 8s. So this is the ideal scenario. Now, a couple things that you notice there on the bat chat. On the second bat chat that came up, I tracked him twice. This is absolutely critical for this type of mission. The damage that you do is certainly important, but spotting and assist damage through tracking is, I would argue, even more important, because that's going to be what puts you over the top. Even more important than say kills, for example. In fact, I'll show the screen at the end, but I was not top damage, I was not top kills, but I was top XP in this match, mainly because of spotting and assist damage with tracking. So do not neglect that. In fact, I don't even survive this match. I die not relatively early. This was a long match because it sort of strung out with a few low health tanks at the end. But I still was able to pull out the top XP despite the fact that I died relatively early in the process. So I have a good amount of damage so far. I've got a decent amount of assist, mainly through spotting and tracking that back chat. That's most of it, may be tracking. But you see, I spotted that scorpion in the background, and he just got nailed. He just got slaughtered as soon as he got lit, and that enabled me to get a significant amount of assist/spotting. Now, the situation I'm in right now, I know that I'm dead. As soon as that bulldog got up on the top of this hill, I know that I'm dead. But frankly, it doesn't matter in any way, shape, or form, because I don't need to survive this match. I only need to be top XP and win for the secondary, which we got. And I'm going to show you the stats for this real quick. I did 1,853 assists/spotting, and you can see here when you compare it to the other teammates, did less damage than the top guys, did less kills, but got more XP than everybody else. That spotting and assist damage is absolutely critical for this. All right, so you want to run this at a tier 8 tank. If you have a tier 7 tank, that's fine, but I feel that tier 8 is reliably low tier, which is what you want for this, because of the fact that you want the XP. You want to be shooting at tanks that are at your tier or higher than you to ensure the right amount of XP. I found that running this in a medium is probably best. Now, you're probably thinking, well, the FCM is a heavy tank. Yes, it's a heavy tank, but it plays very much like a medium. I tend to run it as a medium and just pretend it's a medium, even though it's technically classified a heavy tank. So I would say run this as a medium. It's going to give you the best option to get a little bit of spotting. It's going to allow you to move around the map a little bit better. And I think overall you'll have a better game as running this as a medium. And definitely do not neglect the spotting and tracking. Highly recommend you put coated optics in your tank just for that little view range boost. And if you come across tanks and you have friendlies around you, make sure that you're tracking those tanks if you can. Don't go out of your way. Don't take damage. Just track them. But you want to be tracking them. You want to get the assist that other people are doing when other people are doing damage on that enemy tank. So follow those few simple guidelines, and you should be good for this one. Good luck. I'll see you in the next one.